Come closer and listen well. Ngoba izindaba zabantu zifundisa. People's stories teach us lessons. This story is about a mother named Mazondi and her daughter Thandi. Mazondi lived in a quiet rural village in KwaZulu-Natal, where the hills were green and the mornings began with roosters crowing and women sweeping their yards with grass brooms. Life in the village was simple. You woke up with the sun, you greeted your neighbors, you worked the land or took taxis to town. But Mazondi had something that made her stand a little taller than the others. Her daughter, Thandi, lived in the city. And not just any city. She lived in Johannesburg. Every weekend, Mazondi sat outside her house under the shade of a big mango tree with the other women from the village. And every weekend, she had stories. My Thandi drives a car now, she would say proudly. The other women would look at each other. A car? One would ask. Yes, Mazondi would say, lifting her chin. A German car. Another week, she would say, my daughter stays in a beautiful apartment in Sandton. The place has big windows and elevators. The women murmured in amazement. How does she afford all that? Someone would ask. Mazondi would wave her hand proudly. My daughter works with big people in the city. She didn't know exactly what Thandi did, but the evidence was clear. Every few months, Thandi returned to the village with expensive clothes, new hairstyles, and bags full of groceries. She bought her mother a big fridge. She even paid for renovations on their small house. To Mazondi, her daughter was proof that leaving the village could bring greatness. But the truth in the city was very different. Thandi had come to Johannesburg with big dreams. At first, she tried to find work, but jobs were hard to find. Rent was expensive. Transport cost money. Soon, she met a friend named Zama, who introduced her to a different kind of lifestyle. Zama said something that changed everything. Why struggle when your beauty can open doors? That is how Thandi met her first blesser. He was an older businessman, married, wealthy, powerful. He bought her clothes, paid her rent, and gave her spending money. At first, Thandi felt uncomfortable, but the comfort of money slowly silenced her doubts. Soon there were more men. Different ones, some politicians, some businessmen, all married, all older, and all with money. Thandi's life became glamorous, luxury restaurants, weekend trips, designer bags, but there was something strange about some of the men she met, something that made her uneasy. One of the men, a wealthy property developer named Mr. Khumalo, was different. He was kind and generous, but he had unusual requests. Sometimes he asked Thandi not to cut her nails and give them to him. Other times he asked for strands of her hair. One day he told her not to look inside a small cloth bag he carried everywhere. Another man insisted that she should never visit him during certain nights of the month. And sometimes when she slept at their houses, she would see strange things, candles, powders, animal bones, dark rooms that were always locked. When she asked questions, the men would laugh and say, "Those are cultural things, you wouldn't understand." But deep inside, Thandi felt fear. In the city, whispers travel quickly. One evening, Thandi overheard two girls at a salon talking. "You know those rich married men who date young girls?" one said. The other nodded. "Some of them use rituals for money and power. They take things from the girls, hair, blood, personal items." Thandi's heart started beating fast. Suddenly, all those strange requests began making sense. But by then, she felt trapped. The lifestyle was expensive. Her family in the village depended on her, and she had already become used to the luxury. One December, Thandi returned to the village again. She arrived in a beautiful car. The whole village came to see. Mazondi was glowing with pride. She walked around telling everyone, "My daughter lives a big life in Johannesburg." But that same night, something happened. While unpacking Thandi's bags, Mazondi found a small pouch hidden among her clothes. Inside were strange items: powder, a chicken feather tied with red string, and a photograph of Thandi with something written on the back in red ink. Mazondi felt a chill run down her spine. When Thandi entered the room, her mother held up the pouch. "What is this, my child?" Thandi froze. Tears slowly filled her eyes. For the first time since she left home, she told the truth about the blessers, about the strange rituals, about the fear she had been carrying inside. So remember this, children of today. Not every rich man is a blessing. Not every luxury lifestyle is clean. And not every shining life in the city is built on light. Some are built on shadows, and shadows always demand a price.